Hi, I'm Tammy Beilstein. Welcome to Tammy's Window on Calaveras. This is exciting. I have with me today two guests that I've never had before. Never been in their shop. Wait till you hear what it is. This is Jan and Patty Schulz, and they are the owners of the Spice Tin, which is in Murphy's. You've probably all heard about it. I have heard about it. I'm probably the only person in the county who hasn't been in there yet, but I've heard wonderful things about it, and I am super excited. They're going to talk to us about their shop, about their travels, about the awesome spices you can find in their place. So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy.
Welcome. I'm so glad that you've come. Like I said, I feel like I've heard about you from so many people. I've been out of the loop, though, that I haven't met you in person until right now. So tell everyone about your shop, and I want to know a little about you too. Like, how long have you lived here? About yourselves. You guys are married.
We are.
Yeah.
We moved here in 1971.
Okay.
Jan started teaching at Bret Harte High School, and he was a wrestling coach.
Really? Nice. What did you teach?
English and history.
Oh my goodness. So, brains and good looks. I was saying that he looks like the actor. What's his name again?
Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine. He looks just like him, doesn't he? So that's fantastic. How many years did you teach there?
Oh, geez, about 34, 30,
Oh, no, closer to 40.
maybe closer to 40. Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And so was it after you retired that you guys did this?
When we were getting to near the end of our careers, we needed an encore of some sort. We're not the kind that could just sit around.
Right.
And so it was Patty's fault.
So what's Patty's background?
I stayed home and raised our three daughters, and then went back to teaching. I taught at Michelson and Avery.
Oh, you did?
Yes, and really enjoyed that. I loved the middle school kids.
Oh,
They were
that's so
fun,
neat.
yes.
And when did you retire?
I retired in 2005.
Oh my goodness.
And so previous to that, I had been to a spice store in Chicago, and I fell in love. And it was like, I want to do this, and spent several years researching how the heck do you open a spice store.
Yeah.
And then.
But you just knew, huh? When you
I
saw
did.
it, you just knew that was for you.
did.
Did you have to talk
I
him
had
into
to
it?
kind of pull him along,
Well,
but
we
he's my
opened-
biggest cheerleader.
We
so.
opened right at the beginning of the recession.
Oh gosh.
You know, we actually opened in 2009, but the recession started about 2008 or so. But it turned out to be a good thing for us because people were not going out to dinner as much, and they were cooking more. And those food network shows started coming on then, and people are talking about spices, and we had the 30-somethings, I'd call them, coming in with their recipes and wanting to learn more about using different spices. So it was a good deal for us.
Oh, that's incredible. Like, how many spices do you have in your store?
Geez, probably, I'm going to estimate with all the blends and the salts and the sugars, spices and herbs, probably about 320, 340, someplace around there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, I have so many questions just popped in my head at the same time. I'm thinking about how quickly do they sell? Do they last a long time on your shelves?
That's a good
I
question.
love that question because we sell in little, usually ounce to 2 ounce bags, and they are current season spices and herbs, so they're the best you can get. And we don't want people to buy big jars. We want to buy little amounts because you get them at their best and use them and then replace them. So we're able to order in an amount that, so let's say caraway seeds. They don't move as quickly as cinnamons, so I don't order as much.
Okay.
So all of them are just, pretty much we know which ones we have to replace on a weekly basis and those that others on a monthly basis.
I would be so embarrassed if you guys came to my house then. I'm one of those people, so I love food. And I like to cook, but I don't know a whole lot about it. So when I go to the store, I buy these big honkin' jars of garlic salt or barbecue seasoning, whatever. They're all like this big and stacked in the cabinet, and they last forever because they're so darn large. They're like Costco size,
But after about 9 to 10 months, they begin to lose their effectiveness.
They probably do.
So clean them out.
Should.
come down to the shop and we'll help you.
Just one bag at a time. Just start
Yeah,
one
one
bag.
bag at a time.
Okay.
And another thing about the small proportions with the bags, it's not going to cost you an arm and leg to try something different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's a huge part of our shop is we're obviously being retired teachers. We consider ourselves a teaching area.
Oh, perfect.
Teaching shop.
Can people go in and taste them before they buy them? Because how do they know what they like? They can't.
They're set up with little jars,
Yeah.
and first thing we encourage people open the jars because the aroma will give you a sense of what the flavor profile is,
Okay.
and then we all carry these little spoons and we'll give them samples if they want. So,
Oh, neat.
yeah.
I want to do that. I wanna do that. Do you guys get, like I'd asked them before we started to come and speak to our Angels Murphys Rotary group, do you guys get asked to go many places and speak on your travels and your spices and educate people?
We've
on all that?
had
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah.
and we've had, it's interesting, there's I think a newcomers club that has brought their newcomers to the shop.
Yeah, we
and
get
have
that
done
sort of
little-
thing where
little lesson.
clubs will come to us.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. I think that would be like a really fun date night to go
Yeah.
do something like that. My daughter and her fiance have done the little cooking classes.
Oh, those are fun.
Learned so much from one session of a cooking class, and I can imagine that same sort of thing happening at your place.
Yeah.
Find a new spice that you never heard of before. That's your new fave. You know, I think that would be really neat.
We're always like helping people with barbecuing. You know how to to barbecue or
Yeah.
grill, chicken and whatnot. That's
Yeah.
all the time because we have
Sure.
a barbecue section. We probably have about 15 different.
Wow.
And most of them Jan blends.
Yeah.
So we
their
came
house.
up with our own
We have our own.
recipes. Because everybody can get a barbecue spice, but
Yeah.
he's got like Jan's
How do you-
Sidewinder that you can
Oh.
only get at the spice tin.
Yeah.
That is neat.
Which you don't mind if I point this one out?
No.
We just got back from Bulgaria, and this is a Bulgarian barbecue rub, and I was able to recreate it in our shop right down to the point. I mean, it's the same recipe as if it were in Bulgaria.
It's
And
beautiful, too.
Yeah,
The
we
colors.
take a whiff of
I
that.
wonder if I can show everybody. Let me take it. Oh, that smells good.
Yeah.
I
It's-
don't know my spices well enough to know what I'm
There's a lot of
smelling, but I
cumin in-
recognize.
Cumin and coriander is in there.
Yes. You don't see that?
Well,
Oh my God. That just means I'm going to have to lick my fingers.
There
right
you
now.
go.
We should have brought our spoons.
Yeah, we should.
That's okay. That is so pretty, though, you guys. The
and it's really good
orange.
on pork and lamb. And we play bocce ball on Monday nights, and 2 weeks ago we made it into meatballs for our group.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good. And you were saying you picked this bowl up there.
The bowl is from Bulgaria. We brought a bunch back, but they are leaving the shop
They're
rather
leaving
quickly.
us. They're gone.
Oh,
They're so pretty. They are
Once
so
they're
pretty.
gone, are
yeah.
they gone? Like,
Once
people
they're
need
gone,
to get them when they're there.
They're
You know,
yeah.
our
Okay.
customers know we love to travel, and they know when we get back we have little
We usually bring
treasures,
things back.
and they also know that once the
Wow.
treasures are gone,
I'm
we
gonna-
can.
Yeah.
Don't mind me, keep talking. This is good. It is. I can imagine that on, I think, any type of meat.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's really universal.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
Is it expensive?
No, not really. Not at all. All of our barbecue rubs are the exact same price.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, and not expensive at all.
It's
Okay.
2 ounces, $4.60.
And about how far does 2 ounces go? Because I have no sense of.
Okay, so
Let's say we're going to do, let's pork ribs. All right, and if we're going to do pork ribs, we get away easily with 2 ounces,
Okay.
and really liberal on one side
Yeah.
of the ribs.
Okay.
Yeah, easily.
$4, you said?
Yeah.
That's great. Wow, for something so so much flavor.
Yeah, and very unique.
Yeah. I've never tasted. I'm the kind of. I'll use like the garlic, the
The
big old
big
garlic, the big old pepper, and put those on. this has more flavor than
Yeah.
any spice that I've ever tried
Yeah.
at the store. Even the mixed ones that come, like the lemon pepper or whatever. You know, that's incredible. Oh my
Thank you.
gosh, I would have to try them all.
Yeah,
Wow.
and we would be next to you if you wanted to. One of us, we have a great staff.
Yeah,
All
awesome
of our
staff.
staff, they love to talk about their spices and herbs. They're all good at it, you know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So are you guys the kind of people that when you go somewhere else and you taste something like that, can you taste all the different spices that are in it? You recognize them?
Sometimes, not always. Sometimes.
And then you
all
come
of
home and
them.
experiment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our favorite is we'll have a customer come in with a little bag of
Yeah.
something they had bought someplace else,
yeah.
Right.
and they'll say, "What is this?" And so it's a challenge. And
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
neat.
Yes.
Neat. So if someone came in and wanted something made custom for them, you can do that too?
We can do that.
We do that.
We do that.
Nice.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
As long as they give us enough lead time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tiny shop, but we can get really busy. And
We've done like for weddings, the little,
Gift
what do you call them? The little gift things?
Yeah,
that
the
you
little,
guys-
Little favor.
favors.
Yeah, the favors. We've done that for a number of weddings where people will come in and they know they want to do something in a foodie direction, and so they'll come to us, and we have done that for them. We're all bagged up for them.
Yeah.
But like Patty says, we need time for that. Just can't.
Right.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get
Oh
that
my
done.
gosh, I
Yeah.
bet. I bet. So how did you guys get started? Now you're saying that you retired, you wanted to be busy and do your own thing, but how does somebody start?
You start researching and figure out, first of all, the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center, helped a lot. They had classes here in San
Oh, did
Andreas.
they?
They were wonderful. So they helped us come up with how to open our own business. And then I have a fun little story. So we'd worked out all the red tape, the bureaucracy, and all of that,
gosh,
and we're
yeah.
going, we're going to do it. So now it's, where do you get the spices?
Right.
And so
Costco.
no. You
No
don't get
way.
it
Like the
at Costco.
last thing on your list.
There's nothing wrong with Costco, but no.
No.
So I looked on the internet, thank goodness for the internet, of importers. And at the time we were watching Sopranos, and so there was an spice importer in New Jersey, and so I'm going, oh my gosh, this is the mob, I know. So I call anyway, and I get a young man. His voice sounded like he was in his 30s. His name was Jason. And I explained what we were doing, and he explained that, no, they sold cinnamon in tons.
Oh.
And so I would not be buying from them.
Right.
But then he said, do you have some time? And I said, yes. He said, get a pencil and paper. He spent 40 minutes with me explaining the
was a
whole
real angel.
import business. He gave me names of reputable companies to order from. He gave me an example of an order. He said, now you present this to those companies, get an estimate, then call me back, and I'll tell you if they're being fair with you.
Oh my
goodness. I fell in love with this young man. He
I
was just
bet.
wonderful. He
That's
was-
like, because this was so meant to be. He was like an
Exactly.
angel, just
He was.
placed right
He
in your
was.
path
He was.
there. Oh,
Yes.
perfect.
Other things is we have local products too,
Oh, we do.
like Murphy's Mustards. Mary Ellen,
yeah.
when she started her business, she started with us pretty much, and I don't know if you're Murphy's Mustards.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, and the olives, and we have a
Terry
lot of local
Bedouin's
sort of things.
olives, local
And
products.
artwork that you're doing with Bambi, you know.
Oh, Bambi papayas? Oh, how
We have
cool. She has her stuff in there?
We
Yeah.
have towels and totes with her artwork on it.
You do?
We do. It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I love her
Dave
stuff.
Gano, I don't know if you're familiar with Dave
don't know.
Gano.
He's a local artist.
Local artist, and we have his things on cocoa cans and things like that.
Very
we have a whole
cool.
section for local Calaveras County.
Oh my gosh, so
Yeah.
that would be like the perfect place to go for gifts then
Yeah,
to
it
find
is.
something.
It's a big time
Yeah.
winner for us and for visitors.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I know that you guys are so generous. I've heard that you've donated to the sheriff's department, to just the local charities around here and the nonprofits, and you guys support a lot of different places.
Thank
It's-
you.
That's
So
amazing.
it's a beautiful community,
Yeah.
and you give back to it, and it comes back to you.
Yeah.
So it's it really is.
That's so nice of you to do that.
Yeah.
So what are your favorite spice? Sweet things are considered a spice too, right?
Spices are from botanicals, so we have sugars. They're not spices, but we do have flavored sugars.
Okay.
That
So
are very
sugars
good.
are not considered a spice?
No, no.
But the cinnamon is?
Cinnamon is. Cinnamon is.
What makes it different again? Why is one a spice and one's not?
They're basically dried leaves and seeds or
Okay.
spices and herbs. And
Okay.
the sugars are processed. They're
Okay.
taken from plants, but they're processed. And,
Okay.
so that would be the big difference.
Okay. So, okay, and you do, so you do sell sweet, you sell spicy, you sell hot,
Hot.
and mild, and everything in between.
We have hot
do.
sauces. We have barbecue sauces.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we're always looking for unique things that you can't find anywhere.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about.
Right.
And I'm going to give a plug to Jeff's Barbecue.
You can
We
do
out of
that.
Bixby, Oklahoma. There's a little guy that was an engineer by day, and he's starting his little business going, and he's got an outstanding barbecue sauce
Yeah.
that we're carrying in the shop. We're about the only one in this state that has it.
Wow.
So we try to do that sort of thing.
That's
what
so
we're all
nice.
about.
Like Jason did for you,
Exactly,
right? That is so
exactly,
neat.
exactly.
I love it. You guys are
Yeah.
such kind people.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. Even if no one needs spices at the moment, they should go in just to meet you too, because you're really neat. I like you too. That is so cool. So you brought these 3 cinnamons here. Are these in these here, or are these 2 other separate?
No, they're
Right.
and this is my favorite lesson for customers who come in and want to know about spices. So, the important thing to know, there are 2 kinds of cinnamons, even though I have 3 here.
Okay.
There is a true cinnamon, which is this lighter one, and it is, the bark is fragile.
Right.
It doesn't have the oil content of the other 2 that I brought, which it comes under the category of cassia or cassia. So we grew up with cassia. We think of cinnamon as that.
Right.
The true cinnamon is going to be either called Sri Lanka cinnamon or Ceylon cinnamon, because basically that's the country that it came from.
Okay.
The reason why you need to know about the true cinnamon, one, it's more subtle, more fragile. If you smell it, you're going to say she has old cinnamon.
Without
Go ahead.
spilling it.
Yeah. It's
It
sort
smells nice. It smells like sort of like what I would like my room to smell
Oh,
like.
yes,
You
very
know, like
soft
like
and
I want this in my
warm.
bedroom.
Yes. So that's the nature of a
Nice.
true cinnamon. It's just softer, more subtle. Again, it doesn't have the oil content in the bark.
It smells smooth.
Yes,
If smooth
yes.
has a smell, it smells like a smell.
And you can take this cinnamon scroll and you can steep it in water. It will make the sweetest tea. No sugar added. In fact, I wanted to do that and I forgot today.
Oh, I would totally love to do
It's a
that.
naturally sweet cinnamon and it makes a delicious tea.
Is this enough for a cup of tea
I
or
do
a pot
3.
of tea?
I do 3 for about 3 cups.
Okay.
So you could do 1 cup on that. The other thing about the true cinnamon is it helps lower cholesterol and blood sugar levels. So we have a lot of people who come in and actually are using it for health reasons.
People can come in and talk to you about their health issues? I've read
We're
about
not a health-
turmeric and
yes.
that kind of thing. Do you know about that?
We know basic things
Okay.
like turmeric and cinnamon,
Okay.
but we're not a health food store. So
Right,
we're
right, okay.
more culinary. We'll help them, and in fact, if they have questions we don't know, we'll look it up on the internet.
Okay.
Thank goodness for the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, so true cinnamon, and then these are the cassia. So this one is from Indonesia, and if you hold up that cinnamon stick, you see the difference in the weight and the
Yes.
thickness?
Yeah.
The cassia has a higher oil content.
It
so
weighs much more.
It's
This is
heavy
nothing.
and no.
Yeah.
So when you smell this one, I call that one, it's from Indonesia. I call it grandma's cinnamon. It's what
Yes.
we grew up on.
Everybody
Yeah.
grew
You
up
know,
with that one.
Smells like French toast.
You
Exactly.
grew up with that one.
Yeah.
We all did.
Yeah.
Smells good.
That's
And you can
Indonesia.
definitely tell the difference
Yes,
of the two.
very much. Yeah.
And then the third one is actually my favorite. It's Saigon cinnamon. I call it the hot and spicy.
Ooh.
And
Can you
that's
smell
something?
that?
Yes.
Can-
I had once like a little novelty thing. They were toothpicks.
Oh,
that
yes.
were
Yes. Yes.
This is what they smelled like.
Exactly.
Oh, that was good,
So hot
too.
and spicy. So I tend to use that one just because I like
my
that.
Huge difference.
Huge difference.
That's incredible.
Is that amazing?
Do you find that with like most spices that there's That the same spice smells different or tastes different?
Well, what do we have? How
there's-
many different paprikas, Patty? Must have
Yeah, I
7 or
think
8
6.
paprikas, the curries. I mean, there's so many, and they all have different. They have their own personality.
Yeah, yeah. Can you find cinnamon in other countries
Yes.
than the places
Yes.
that, okay.
Yes.
that you
In
mentioned
fact,
here?
and the reason why I like to share that is just to let people be comfortable with cinnamon, to know that if it's a Sri Lanka Ceylon, it's a true cinnamon, that's the property it's going to have. We just have 3 because space. You can get, in Mexico, they're growing a cinnamon, they call it canela, and it's actually from the true cinnamon family.
Yeah.
The research at this point that I've followed up on hasn't said anything about the health properties. So
Okay.
I hesitate to say it has the same.
Right,
but
right.
they've used that tree or bush. It's actually a bush.
I was going to ask you that next.
It's a bush.
I've thought of what else this smells like to me. Have you guys ever had the Good Earth Sweet and Spicy tea?
Yes.
That's
Yes,
what this
that's-
smells like,
yes,
and I
that's
love
right.
it. I have a gigantic, probably Costco box in my cupboard. I do love that tea. This smells so much like it. What a great scent. So, is this from the bark of the tree? And they shave it off, or does this roll
shave
up
it
and
off.
fall off when it gets
They,
older?
They shave it off.
Uh-huh.
And in fact, the acacia, they shave the outer bark. The true cinnamon, they take the inner bark. So they get rid of the outer bark and they
Okay.
take the inner bark.
When we were in Sri Lanka, we had an opportunity to go to a cinnamon farm, which is really,
It is very labor intensive.
oh boy.
Really?
Very labor intensive. In fact, the cinnamon laborers, not the farm owners, they get half the profit.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the owners get half and the laborers get half because it's so labor intensive.
Wow.
And if the workers wouldn't do it, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have a crop. So
Oh my gosh, you can't have that.
no,
This is incredible. Do you guys have a favorite spice? If you could only pick, like, say, 4 spices to have in your entire house, what would you pick?
it changes with my mood.
Does it?
And mine would be more in the barbecue direction. Of our rubs, Sidewinder.
Yeah.
Sidewinder
Yeah?
would be in there. Our French Gulch would be in there. Calaveras chicken rub, and then last, the bourbon smoked sugar. If I
Ooh.
had 4 from all of it, and sorry, not but this guy in there, because this
Yeah.
guy's going to probably wind up in the top 3 when it's all said
Okay.
and done. Yeah.
Because I have my own 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm loving these.
there's so many
loving
others.
these. What about you? What are
Always
your,
paprika.
like, your staples?
Always
Okay.
paprika.
Which paprika?
Oh, it depends.
We have lots of paprikas.
Really?
Yeah.
It depends. I love our truffle parmesan blend.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
great on
Ooh.
rice, on chicken, on potatoes. It's just
That's in a shaker, or
no. It,
how does
it
that come?
comes in a little, excuse me, in a little bag, and
Okay.
yeah, you can.
But it's a powder.
It's a powder, and it's a
okay.
blend. It's a blend. So that
Sounds
and,
good.
Our Vadavon curry is my favorite curry.
Vadavon curry.
Vadavon.
Okay.
So Vadavon is the area in India where the French settled. So it's a French Vadavon curry, it's called, and it just has that. The French just know how to do it. It just
Really?
tastes good. And
Out of all the places you guys have been, then, what are your favorite places to go to?
oh my gosh.
Well, Argentina was outstanding for barbecuing. I learned a lot about Argentine barbecuing when I was there.
Okay.
I'll love it, and I share that with our people that come in all the time.
Good.
Sri Lanka, again, we're talking the cinnamon, that was outstanding.
The curries
People were
and the,
sad to say we were there about a year before this. We just had this bombing there in Sri Lanka. I don't know if
Oh.
you're aware of that. And then this, just got back from Bulgaria, and we absolutely fell in love with Bulgaria.
Oh, really?
yes,
Really fell.
beautiful
It's a
country.
beautiful country. They've suffered under communism from 1945 to 1989, which has affected the culture of the country in lots of ways. But they're coming back, and the food was just incredible.
How long do you stay when you plan a trip for buying? Are you like kind of in and out? You know what you want, where you're going?
We're like 2.5 to 3 weeks.
Ooh.
Like
And we take cooking classes.
And we take cooking
food
classes all the
tours
way
and-
through,
Nice.
and food tours, and we try to learn a little bit about the culture.
Yeah.
We don't go into a town in one night. We're
Okay.
2, 3, 4 nights, and
So you
and
gotta
do
get
what-
in there and you learn everything.
You want to tell
Yeah.
her quickly about Plovdiv?
Plovdiv is I think it's the second largest city, and we just fell in love with it. It's so
Bulgaria.
pretty, and it has, I mean, throughout Bulgaria, you're walking on the streets and there's a Roman wall, and there's a church from the 2nd century,
right
and
there.
oh my gosh, it's just amazing. And
amazing.
we were in 4 major cities, and they all had pedestrian malls
Yeah.
that you just walk and
my
sit down in a
goodness. Yeah.
cafe and.
How do you guys handle the language barriers there? How do you do that?
Well, in our more mature
When we first started doing this, I would drive, okay?
Uh-huh.
And we were mainly in Europe, like France and Spain and Portugal.
Yeah.
That's where we were doing most
Yeah.
of this. But then when we started venturing out, we actually went to Thailand on our own, and that was really difficult.
Oh.
And after doing Thailand, we decided we're going to need to get a guide and
Oh.
a driver. So
That's
the last
smart.
3 adventures have been with a guide and driver, and it makes a big difference. It helps us with language, and you get really close to
Yeah.
them. The last one we had, we got really close to Kirill, our driver guide, very close to this young guy, and because he's with us for 3 weeks. You know?
Oh, that's a great idea.
It is, and it's actually really easy to do.
Is it?
It is.
Okay, when it's time for me to retire, I'm going to come take notes from
Okay.
you guys on how to do it the right way. We have like 2 minutes left, and I
my
don't think
gosh.
that we said exactly where your shop can be found. So why don't you tell everybody where
You want me to do?
they'll find
Jan
you?
has.
I have a
has
story. You go to the Murphy's Hotel,
Yeah.
okay? You buy yourself a beer, lean back, look out the door, and you're going to see a big red sign saying Spices. We're
Okay.
right behind Snack.
Right behind Snack,
Yeah.
across from the Murphy's Hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are your hours over there?
11 to 5, 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Because we have an awesome staff. We
Great
can't
staff.
we
Great.
can't say enough about
Our
it.
staff
Yeah.
is outstanding.
You must, for you guys to trust them when you're gone that long. Yeah.
And they're just wonderful. We love our staff. They're great people.
That's great. And what is your phone number if anyone wants to call you?
209-728-8225.
728-8225. Okay, the Spice Tin.
The Spice.
You guys, we are like practically out of time. I want to thank you for coming
Oh,
and for
well,
bringing
thank
these
you.
samples for me. And they're just so right in front of me. They're so delicious. I really do want to come in and do some taste testing
please
with
do.
you and throw out my big, gigantic spices that have probably been in my cabinet for 20
We do
years.
have the shelf of shame. No, seriously, where people have brought tins into
Yeah.
us where grandma's had forever.
Oh
and
my
they-
gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
we
whole
do have
cabinet could go in
so
there.
Dammy, you can bring one in for the shelf of
I
shame.
would.
Just one.
Okay, that's fun. You guys, thank you so much, and thank you for being so generous to the community. It really means a lot, and it gets around because, like I said, I've heard so much about you and your place before I even met you today. So
Thank you,
I'm glad
Tammy.
you guys are here. Come back sometime.
All right.
With some new spices.
Okay.
Maybe with the lid. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time on Tammy's Window on Calaveras.